let us show that we eat for the sake of living and not be guilty of living for the sake of eating. St. Maximus the Confessor. That's interesting. I mean, doing sake for the sake of something is at best kind of a lost cause that can lead towards nihilism pretty fast. It could also lead to a lot of other things that aren't really purposeful. So there is that, and I mean, it makes sense that it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. That's also open to interpretation. But we don't eat just for the sake of living. We can eat for enjoyment. We can obviously eat to commemorate special occasions, special things happening in our lives. Usually things of importance are usually gathered around a meal. That being breakfast, lunch, or dinner, usually. But let us show that we eat for the sake of living. That also helps. I mean, you need to eat to live in order to enlighten yourself, to continue in the process. Because obviously if you don't eat, well, then you die. And not to be guilty of living for the sake of eating. So don't be guilty about living, but you're not just living for the sake of eating. So you're not living to just fulfill earthly desires. You're obviously living for something more. You're living for a purpose that's beyond you. You're living for something that's just not going to sustain you like eating from meal to meal. So doing something for the sake of something is there. Doing something for the sake of just doing it with more importance is better. It goes somewhere. It has to go somewhere. Because if it doesn't, then you're just doing it just to, like they say, go through the motions. Or, people will say, I feel like a robot today. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where then you just feel like a lifeless void. You're just basically just a flesh robot. And that's not good, because obviously there's something within us that's a lot more than just that. And, not going to get too theological with this one, since this one is pretty straightforward, but broken up into two parts. So there is one of those things where you shouldn't be guilty of certain things that obviously serve a purpose, and they serve a good purpose. Eating serves a good purpose. Drinking water, or I'm not talking about drinking like that, but it sustains you. Something like drinking water, tea, milk, coffee, things like that. Those things obviously sustain you, and those things obviously help you along to keep along with that eating pattern. So, relating to that and getting to that, doing things for the sake of things is there. But doing something for the sake of something more is real food for thought.